Oh, hi there. You just caught me while I'm hair drying one of my owls. This is Dusty, the dark-breasted barn owl, 6 years old now, and she's a little bit wet. Well, she's had a bath, which is perfectly fine. We don't bathe them ourselves, and like when you have a dog and you pop it in your bath and put your dog shampoo on. No, they bathe themselves in just water, which has been absolutely fine. We've had some nice warmer temperatures, but it's getting colder again out there. I just went outside a minute ago, but oh, it's a bit freezing, so I didn't really want the owl to be wet, as you can see, quite well on the front there in particular, when it's going to get colder, because wet is okay if they're warm enough, cold is okay if they're dry enough, but it's not good for them to be wet and cold. It can cause problems, wingtip edema and things like that. That's kind of frostbite in birds essentially. So just to be careful, when it's really cold, we want to make sure they're dry. And you can use a hairdryer. It's an old hairdryer. We've got this one here. Now, important thing is, this hasn't got any Teflon in it, which is toxic to birds. In fact, it's not good for us as well if you're hair drying. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair now, not really a problem for me, but certainly for birds and animals, you shouldn't have Teflon in your hair dryer. Now, there are other things to consider. Two main points. One, if the owl doesn't mind it or the bird doesn't mind it, because some of them will be scared by a hair dryer. And the second thing is they don't get too warm. So as you can see from the settings, I've actually got them on the lowest settings there. So it's just slightly warm, but it's not too warm. Now, I know you're not keen on having this done, but really it is essential, so I'll just quickly finish her off. So March is going to be a really exciting month for myself and the team here at Owl Adventures. We're going to be launching our first ever Southern hub, a new hub that's going to be opening down in Southampton very soon. We've also got another thing, an indoor attraction I keep hinting at. Big reveal coming very soon on that one as well. Two big projects at the same time. And I'm even swimming with sharks as well on one occasion. And on a separate note, I am going abroad as well to meet a falconer about an exciting project too. So really fun-filled, challenging month ahead for sure. And just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water, or rather say to dip your toe back into the pest control work, quickly explain. Falconry pest control, or hawking pest control as it's known, is flying birds of prey to scare off problem birds such as pigeon and seagull, or in this case geese. I was contacted by somebody asking if I could fill in just a day because someone's on holiday type of thing. Can I go and fly a hawk at a school? So I was, and as you can see here, it really did fly well. Maverick the Harris hawk on the roof of the building, coming all the way down to the glove from there. He did that a number of times, circled the field a number of times. The idea was to scare off geese, but I didn't see any geese. There was evidence of it, of course. And I was very careful because I was obviously thinking about bird flu and checked. There's no cases reported in that area of West Yorkshire where I was, but still I kept it kind of safe and sensible as much as possible, and kept things clean as much as possible whilst out there. And he did land on the glove and in trees, and at one point landed on someone's car, which wasn't ideal, and I very carefully got him to fly back to the glove. Luckily he didn't scratch the paintwork with his talons, which they can be quite sharp. Now, I don't mind filling in a bit of pest control now and then when we can, but it's becoming increasingly challenging to fit everything in I need to. My time has never been more precious, and I would have sent one of the team members over, but they needed someone who was DBS checked, and we are still processing some of our employees for their DBS, their police check as it were. Because of being a school, of course, we had to do it. Funny thing was, there was a staff member there who found the hawk fascinating. Her husband used to have a red-tailed hawk, excuse me, used to do hunting with it, and she said, look, we know loads of falconers. I've said to the school over and over again, just get us to fly a bird around a little bit. But that's kind of the way these things go. They go right above the people who are on the ground, who have the eyes and ears of a venue or an establishment, and end up going to some higher up person in an office of a trust somewhere, and they get in the big company to do the pest control, which is then subcontracted down to me to fill in for a day. It's just ridiculous when you think of it like that, really. Anyway, at least that's now done, and we can look forward to what else we're doing. Do you know what? I'm going to hop inside. It's getting a bit chilly. So I'm now in my kitchen with a nice cup of tea, perfectly innocent mug. We are going to be selling mugs in a location, and multiple locations actually soon, but not something with that kind of language on, but different types of mugs. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe one could say, I'm a falconer I sleep all night because I work all day, or you know, I'm a falcon and I'm okay, or maybe I don't know, my other bird's a hawk. I don't know. I have to think of any ideas. Let me know. Yeah, I lost a bit of sleep last night, I'll be honest, because I am taking on a lot at the minute. And if you've been watching this channel regularly, you'll know that the business is growing so fast that it's kind of overwhelming. And some of that's on purpose, some of it's by accident. There are 2 projects at the minute we're getting ready for, and in a moment I'll show you some prep I'm doing actually in a minute for some work I've been doing this week. I'm actually tonight going down with one of the full-timers down to Southampton. So recording this currently, it's the last Tuesday of February. I know this video will go out in March, and we've got a 5-day build, big challenge at the Oasis City Farm, Southampton. So there are a few bits of timber and perches and things prefabbing here, as it were, sort of making beforehand, just to speed up the process. But the reason why I lost a little bit of sleep last night is because I made the silly mistake of going on an online calculator. And it was one of these things where you can put in what pay you get and what tax you'll do and so on. And in April, unless the government changes their mind last minute, we've got a big national insurance rise. Now I'm employing at the minute another full-timer every couple of months pretty much. And I did a little calculation last night, and if I was giving them a salary of £35,000, that's a falconer to do display work, husbandry work, you know, school visits, scare hunts, flying shows, all that type of stuff, full-time job. If you include their holiday, and you include the national insurance, and their pension, and then you include a few days for sick pay, and this, that and the other, that £35,000 comes down closer to £51,000 for me as an employer. Which is terrifying, because I've got to make sure they've got enough work on. And it doesn't help that I get the post from Islington Council a £65 fine, because apparently I drove down a road, yeah, there's the picture. Apparently I drove down a road on the way to a school visit that was pedestrianised, no vehicles or bikes. But that's because the sat-nav would have taken me down that way. And you know, you look at your sat-nav, turn left, you turn left, and that's what you do. So it's just more and more cost, isn't it, really? Despite the fact I've just spent £2.5 grand on building materials for the Southampton hub that's coming up. So let me get on with some of that perch production. So I've just made a little astroturf perch here. For this size, probably be for a barn owl, or maybe a tiny owl, maybe a hawk, we'll see. But the aviaries we're going to build will have lots of different sort of perches in corners, shell perches, ones like this, also wooden blocks, some natural tree branches as well. But as I've said many times before, this stuff here makes that sound. Great for the feet, pretty much eradicates bumblefoot, so it's a really great thing. Cleaning it, you can power wash it off and you can spray it with F10 or other animal safe bacterial substances, sorry. But of course, if you have a perch like that and you clean the top and the front and there's not much room behind, you can get quite dirty. So the way we'll have it attached is with a couple of screws, so that maybe if we can't get behind as easy, we can always just take it off, give it a thorough clean, dip it, something like that, at least once a week, because of course it's the stuff at the back where they poop off. But when it comes to the enclosures, it's a case of looking at where most of the poop is, because their favourite perch is where they sit the most, and then you can think of ways to help keep that area clean. So for example, if we had a hawk or something that was splicing, that's what they call it when they have that poo just fly out, and it's hitting one particular bit of wall, we might put something on that bit of wall, like a piece of plastic or something that's easier to clean rather than to scrub the wood or whatever. So big week ahead of me, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm going to do, I don't know why I'm holding a knife, I'm going to do a 7-day video, so we're filming all the time we're building. It's not going to be 7 days long. I mean, it's going to be building this big construction in 7 days, so look out for that. It's coming up on the channel really, really soon. Hope you enjoyed that episode of the Owl Diary, my little vlog showing what we're doing up to here, behind the scenes at Owl Adventures. Until next time, thanks for watching.